What's up guys, Jimmy here with another video. As you can tell, I'm pretty sick. I'm really sick, but I did get the chance to watch both conferences for Sony and Microsoft. Guys, maybe I'm just easy to be pleased, but I was just amazed at what I saw today. I haven't been this impressed by an E3 in a very, very long time. It's almost the polar opposite of the way I felt last year. Last year, I felt like Sony and Microsoft did a horrible job last year, but this year I felt like they hit it out of the park. Now there are some things that I didn't like, which I will talk about. There's a bunch I want to talk about, and I'll try and maybe, pretty much just going to go chronological for the most part in this video. But I had the chance to go to the Microsoft press briefing in 2009. Got my and man, I had so much fun there, and there was some really cool stuff. Really cool games that they show. I know some of you guys already show this, but I was just kind of like a highlight of my life being able to go to E3, and I'd love to go another time down the road, but I did watch it online, and I want to talk to you guys about this. Why am I talking about this? You might be thinking to yourself, you're sick, or are you doing this? And right now, guys, it's late. It's getting really late, but if I went to bed, I would just be thinking about this, okay? And I'd rather just talk about this with you guys. There's also games that I could be playing, but I'd rather talk about this. This is how impressed I was. Was everything perfect? No. But I want to talk to you guys. Overall, I was impressed, and I'm pretty optimistic about a lot of things, and we're going to talk about these things. So right off the bat, in the morning, at least here on the West Coast in the United States, started things off with the Microsoft press briefing and press conference. And I've got my notes right here. Talk about the things that I saw that I was impressed about. All the things that I saw. Now, I did not get the chance to watch it live. I watched it a little bit later throughout the day. And so I had to skip it past kind of like the dead air time. And what I saw, the first game that I saw was at the beginning of the conference. This is what I thought I saw. I thought I saw Red Dead Redemption 2. I was like, holy cow. Red Dead Redemption 2, this is awesome! But it wasn't Red Dead Redemption 2. It was the Phantom Pain or Metal Gear Solid 5, which looks pretty amazing. An open world Metal Gear Solid game. It looks pretty good. I'm not gonna lie. It looks really good. And so saw that Kojima was out there. It was really fun to see him. He was at the press conference in 2009. I had a short video clip that I took of him that maybe some of you guys have seen. But game looks pretty good. Metal Gear Solid 5, guys. I love open world games, and the cool thing about the whole day today, so there was a lot of different open world games, which I'm really excited about. Now, some games I'm missing, please leave it in the comment section below. Things that, hey Jimmy, you forgot this game, please bring it up. The next game was Rise, and that is the exclusive by Crytek. They're using the latest Crytek engine. This is going to be an Xbox One exclusive. It looks pretty good. But in all honesty, guys, when maybe I just have to play it to really appreciate it. But, looking at it, it looked good. And some of you guys might be thinking I'm crazy, but I'm like, how are the visuals different from this from, say, like an Assassin's Creed 3 or an Assassin's Creed 4 on, the 360 or the PS3? I don't know. I kind of felt like, in the beginning stages of the PlayStation 3 and the Xbox 360, PlayStation 3 and Xbox 360, in the beginning, some of the games almost looked like last gen, and I'm not saying Rise looks totally, that it could be on the 360 and the PlayStation 3, but visually it looked okay. It looks interesting. Next up, I saw Killer Instinct. When I saw that, I thought that was pretty sweet, pretty sick. We'll have to wait and see more on that. I know a lot of diehard Killer Instinct fans are probably really excited about that. Next up is Insomniac's Sunset Overdrive, which is an open world game, but you can also play with your friends. visually it kind of looked like Mirror's Edge, which, you know, I love Mirror's Edge. It looks pretty good. You know, it's funny, I was on the forums today, and there were some diehard Sony fans saying on how Insomniac stabbed Sony in the back. Which, in all honesty, you know, Insomniac's a company, they have to do what they have to do. They produced a lot of great titles for the PlayStation 2 and the PlayStation 3. And, you know, I was kind of disappointed with the way Sony handled the promotions of Resistance 3. I thought, honestly, Resistance 3 was handled very poorly. A lot of people really didn't know about it, in my opinion, and it really failed. So, Insomniac's trying an exclusive on the Xbox platform, so we'll have to wait and see how that goes. So next up was Turn 10's Forza 5. It looks pretty good, but you know what gets me frustrated sometimes? They did this with Forza 3. Forza 3, they showed it at the E3 conference, and it looks so unbelievable. And then you get the finished product, and it didn't look quite as good as in the E3. And they're like, oh, all of it's in-game footage. Also, in Forza 5 looks amazing. Okay, don't get me wrong, but they're like, all this is in-game footage. And like the entire time they're showing like in front of the car or like the side view of the car. Very little of it like of showing like the way it would look if you were playing the game. That's what I want to see. I want to see the way the game looks when, say, like I'm playing it, one of my friends are playing it. Not the side view. What? That's great. I'm seeing the side of the car. The car looks great. You did a great job replicating it. Wonderful. Golf clap for you. But in all honesty, I want to see it the way, you know, more of how it plays out when I'm playing it. Okay, game looks great. When the McLaren went up past the stage or got lifted up in the stage, that was pretty sweet. Next they showed Minecraft Xbox One Edition, which if you're a big Minecraft fan, I mean, might as well just continue to play it on PC or Xbox 360. I mean, bigger builds, okay. Quantum Break. This was another one that got me frustrating. I'm a big fan of Remedy, and I was looking forward to seeing more about this game. But they're like, all footage is going to be in-game. Dude, I mean, granted, maybe he was using the controller at certain moments, but it was pretty much a cutscene, which was just really weak. The game, I'm sure, will be really good, but I want to see something different than just this, like, somewhat cutscene. Anyway, Quantum Break. Next was D4. I believe it was an episodic murder mystery game series set. It looked kind of very different. I'll have to give it that. Next was Project Spark, which involved game creation. I don't know, games like this come around every once in a while where like they'll try to spark interest, create your own game, you can do your own game, and then other people can play their own game. I don't know, maybe this will have potential. This game for me was like kind of like, whatever. Let's see here. Oh, and they showed a Killer Instinct battle. There was a demo that looked pretty cool. There's going to be they showed a fight stick running on the Xbox One. I do have a couple fight sticks from the 360, so it should be good because sooner than later, I'm guessing that Street Fighter 5 will be released for Xbox One and PlayStation 4. So fight sticks, get those ready. The next one was Crimson Dragon or Dragoon from the same folks that brought us, or I don't know if all the producers, but people who worked on Panzer Dragoon will also be working on this one, Crimson Dragon or Dragoon. Problem with this one though was it looked really good, but the audio was not there, and we'll talk a little bit more about an audio issue coming up. An exclusive that the Xbox One is going to have. Another one is Dead Rising 3. So this is interesting. Xbox 360 comes out, and Dead Rising was an exclusive. It was. The first one was exclusive, and there's that chop till you drop for the Wii, whatever. But first Dead Rising exclusive. Dead Rising 2 for the PC, Xbox 360, and PlayStation 3. Dead Rising 3, Xbox One exclusive. So, one of the things that I saw is cool. Dead Rising 3, a lot of people were excited in the crowd, you could tell. This time around, it's an open world game. You can craft the different weapons. You don't have to go to a table now. You can just craft that weapon, combine weapons, and makes, grab some items and make something bigger than just, what they are by themselves. No, Dead Rising 3, they were using, towards the end of that demo, the smart glass. Dude, the whole thing with the smart glass and the Kinect, dude, how many more, come on, how many more gimmicks do you want to throw my way? Okay, just give me the controller, okay? Okay. Then they showed The Witcher 3, which looks amazing. That's going to be, I think that's a console exclusive for the Xbox One, I'm pretty sure. And also I'm guessing it's going to be for the PC. Battlefield 4, the explosions looked amazing in Battlefield 4. The sea battles that took place in the boat, the water looks amazing. At Battlefield 4, a lot of people are going to be getting that. Some of the other games they showed Below, they showed Halo, which isn't Halo 5, it's just Halo. At one point the lady said Halo Combat. Say Halo Combat Evolve? What are you talking about? What are you talking about? Okay. Anyway. They then, of course, they announced the price. Pardon me, guys. The price for the Xbox One is $499 US, and I believe they said, and also it would be 429 pounds, depending on where you live. Then they showed, the final game they showed was Respawn's Titanfall, which is a first-person shooter, but also I was seeing like kind of third-person shooting, whether you're a soldier, and also you could get into this mech. It looked okay. There's kind of like some interesting gameplay mechanics with double jumping and like kind of like running across like a sign or a wall, being able to do that, which it looked good. I don't know. Honestly, I'm still in the. It does look good. I don't know. We'll see on that. We'll have to wait and see on that. But yeah, Metal Gear Solid 5, Killer Instinct. I want to see more about Sunset Overdrive. I mean, I'm interested in learning more about that. I want to see more Quantum Break, for crying out loud. Spark. Crimson Dragoon. Yeah, looks good. Dead Rising 3, definitely. Witcher 3 looks great. Halo. Oh, man. You know, it's interesting. I guess Halo 4, a lot of people bought the game, but the multiplayers really died out with, like, in comparison of, like, say, Halo Reach or Halo 3 with, like, the same time period. The multiplayers really died down for Halo 4. We'll have to see what happens on that. Okay, let's see here. I just barely glanced the let me just talk about the E3 one really quick, because I only saw a few things I didn't watch all the E3 address. Star Wars Battlefront, Dragon Age 3 Inquisition, and also Drake was there to talk about FIFA. Okay, so let's talk about Sony now. You know, Sony, I was impressed with Sony, and I was also impressed with Microsoft. Sony, in the beginning, they had a really cool game montage, all these different great games. And right in the beginning, it was kind of fitting. They played an Imagine Dragons song. I think it was Radioactive. Welcome, you know, in the lyrics, "Welcome to the New Age," which is very fitting. You know, this new age of consoles. I thought it was pretty good. One thing I just want to really point out before I get into the games, I think it was Jack Tretton, if that's the name, the guy in the beginning who spoke. He was very professional, and it was very humbling what he said, and I really appreciate it. He acknowledged the gamers, and not just in the crowd, but just gamers in general, for making his job so exciting. He acknowledged the gamers not just as a number or a figure, but actually as people, men, women, boys, girls who play these games and, you know, breathe life into what he does. I thought that was just really classy, and I really appreciated it. He then went on to talk about the Vita. The Vita is really struggling. But the interesting thing he said is that once a person does get a Vita, is that on average the person has around 10 Vita games. Then again, I wasn't sure though if it was clear on if that meant 10 retail games or 10 games at whole. I'm guessing 10 games at whole because there's a lot of, you know, what, $1, $2 games that you could download off Vita. So that's not as impressive, but even so, in the fall, I guess there's going to be a Walking Dead Vita bundle. They talked about The Last of Us, which looks great, coming out this Friday. Talked about oh, that's one other thing that I wanted to just bring your guys' attention real quick. For the Xbox press conference, Xbox 360, they only went over a few games. It was very light on the 360. They're like, thanks for buying a 360. Okay, let's talk about the Xbox One. PlayStation 3, I felt like they're a lot more supportive, going like, thank you for buying a PS3. We still got a lot of good games. I mean, we have The Last of Us. We have Beyond Two Souls. We have Gran Turismo 6, GTA 5, which I think the 360 talked about GTA 5. I'm not sure. I don't think they did. But I talked about Batman Origins, which of course is multi-platform. But I felt Sony did a much better job at catering to the customers who are already in this gen and have bought the console. I felt kind of like Microsoft kind of gave a cold shoulder to those people who had bought the 360. They're like, oh, we love the 360. And here's, you know, there are a couple just weird games they showed. Well, at least one of the games was some platforming game, which I was like, that's the game you're going to show? This platforming game, Max? Whatever. So PlayStation, I felt they did a great job at acknowledging the PlayStation 3 owners. So they went over that for a little bit. Beyond Two Souls really does look good, guys. It kind of has me a little more excited than what I thought for the game. Okay, PlayStation 4. They showed the console, and it definitely reminded me of the look and feel. I just thought PlayStation 2. I know it's a different looking console, but it just reminded me of that line right there, that blue line, blue to white. Sony Pictures talked about how there'd be exclusive entertainment, whether it's show or movie content, available for the PlayStation 4. Also, down the road, that you'd be able to watch live events on your PlayStation 4. They went on and said you'd be able to watch the movies, shows, live events, sporting events, and games. They said the PlayStation 4, the core of it is for games, which I thought was really cool. They pointed that out. Okay. PlayStation 4, the games they talked about, and they showed the Order 1886, which was interesting. Set in 1886, I guess, but with like futuristic weaponry. It looked pretty good. It was just kind of like a cutscene, but it looks like it has some potential. They showed Killzone Shadowfall. I like Killzone 3 and Killzone 2. I'll definitely pick that one up. They talked about I believe Drive Club. I don't know a whole lot about that racing game. For at least for the PlayStation 4. Infamous Second Son, big Infamous 1 and 2 fan. This one looks pretty sick. Knack, which is a platforming / kind of like action adventure game. That looks okay. Transistor, which I think that's also coming out for the PC and maybe the 360. But that's by Supergiant Games, same folks that brought us Bastion. It looks really good. It has a really nice art style. Be on the lookout for Transistor. Check out the trailer for that one. Don't Starve, Octodad, Switchblade, Monkeys, I believe. Raised Dead, Red Beretta, Oddworld. There are all these games they showed, kind of like from indie developers, that would be for the console exclusive. They'd be available on the PlayStation 4, which I thought was cool. They were really going to try and support indie titles. Xbox did a great job talking about how they're going to support indie titles as well. Okay, they talked about at the Sony conference, Diablo 3 would be available for the PS3 and PlayStation 3 and PlayStation 4. Also, they showed some really cool stuff They announced Kingdom Hearts 3 and Final Fantasy 15 would both be coming to the PlayStation 4. By the way, I'm so sick. I'm watching this thing. I'm like, oh, what's going on? They had the Final Fantasy Versus 13, and then they had Final Fantasy 15. I'm like, dude, I've seen like trailers and stuff for Final Fantasy Versus 13, and now they've got 15. Dude, what did I watch? Did I watch? Not too long ago I watched this, guys. So honestly, just please tell me, because I'm, like I said, I'm sick. Did I watch a trailer for Versus 13 and 15, or was it just 15? Please let me know that, okay? I'm a little slow. Please forgive me. Not feeling too great, but I am excited about what I saw. They did a demo for Assassin's Creed 4. Dude, that demo kept freezing. What was so classic is they had the guy with the controller, and a lot of these are fake, and I knew they were fake, were these games, and I understand why. They've got these gameplay footage that they've got pre-recorded, and they put it up on stage, and then they have a guy with the controller going, oh yeah, this is a great game. And he's not even playing it. A couple of the sounds that was made when it froze, I'm like, that's not a game freeze, because I'm used to making videos and playing them back, and sometimes it's like a really big file or whatever, the video's playing back. It made that weird freezing sound that I've heard before. So I could be wrong, maybe I'm wrong, but I think that was like a pre-recorded deal that kept freezing on them. I don't think that was an actual demo, okay? Maybe not, I don't know. I felt bad for the guy on stage. Right at the end, it froze like crazy. They then showed Watch Dogs, an amazing looking, with the rain and then the explosions. A great looking open world game, looks great. They showed LeBron James with NBA 2K14. They showed Elder Scrolls Online, which you'll be able to do. The beta will be available exclusively on the PS4. It's coming spring 2014. It looks pretty good. Elder Scrolls Online, it looks good. It does. Mad Max, which it's coming for the PlayStation 4, but I had got a press release sent to me. It's coming for like pretty much all the other consoles, or most of them. Oh, this was the bomb that Sony dropped. We welcome your used games, okay? They did that. The crowd went nuts. I was at GameStop today. I was talking to the guy that worked there. I told him, you know what? Most of the games in my collection, they are used games. And if I pick up a game on the cheap, a game from a series that I don't have any experience with, I play it, I like it, I'm going to buy that newer copy or new copy. He said, I know, it's bad for the business, with no used games. And also was brought up, this is a big one, no need for online check-in for single-player games, which, yeah, hello, I'm playing a single-player game. Hats off to Sony for having a clue, okay? The crowd went nuts again. Dude, they were twisting the knife. They said, you don't have to check in every 24 hours. They used this perfect wording. It was done very well. Anyway, let's see here. PlayStation Plus. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but it looked like he said you don't have to have PlayStation Plus for single player experience. So I'm guessing, correct me if I'm wrong, guys, does this mean that with multiplayer in games for the PlayStation 4, does this mean that, I'm guessing that a multiplayer, you'll have to have PlayStation Plus, kind of like Xbox Live. Correct me if I'm wrong. Again, I'm really sick, so forgive me if I'm really slow. They played Destiny at the end, Bungie's Destiny, and I'm not going to lie, guys. I know it was kind of cheesy at time with the banter back and forth between the people playing it. I thought it looked pretty good. I thought it looked really good. A lot of similarities, with the way they're taking out some of the enemies to Halo, but I like the art direction for the game. I thought it looked really good. I'm really impressed. It looks great. PlayStation 4, $300 Crowd went nuts. Okay, it's going to be $100 less than the Xbox One. Big deal. Okay, wrap-up time. A lot of games really impressed me. And again, I don't think that Microsoft did a perfect job. I don't think Sony did a perfect job. I felt like Microsoft could have done they could have done a much better job at, because there's going to be more 360 games coming out. They could have spent more time on that. They had more time to spare. They did not have to rush, get everything only for the Xbox One. I know people are excited for the Xbox One, but what about the tens of millions of people that still want to play an Xbox 360? What about the millions of people that bought an Xbox 360 last year? All of a sudden, you only have a few games to show at E3. That's kind of weak. I was kind of disappointed in that. But the thing that I liked about Xbox One is they did focus on the games. At one point, they started talking about the hardware. I'm like, dude, you said it's only going to be talking about the games. Stop talking about the console. But, you know, that was limited. One thing I thought they did really good, they talked about the games, but they talked about a lot of exclusives. They showed a lot of exclusives. And I really thought that was awesome. Question that I have is, what are they going to do now that their console is $100 more than the PS4? And the PS4 has better features. Let's be honest here, okay? In terms of the actual console, you cannot, you know, the whole thing with the used games is kind of sketchy, and also having to check in your game every 24 hours or whatever it's going to be. They might have to make some change with that. That might blow up in their face big time. Okay, it just might. I felt that Sony did a great presentation. They acknowledged the gamers. They did an amazing job. I do think the system looks good. It looks different, but I think it looks really good. I'm impressed, guys. Honestly, for actually the PlayStation 3, they had some exclusives. The actual PlayStation 4, there weren't a whole lot of like exclusives. There weren't a whole lot. Honestly, there was a lot of like, we've made exclusive deals, or for games that are multi-platform. Games that are coming out for the Xbox One, PlayStation 4, they're like, well, we made exclusive deals, you could get some extra armor, you could do this, or... I felt like the PlayStation conference could have had more exclusives for the PlayStation 4 console, but that's just me. Destiny looks great, but it's also coming to the Xbox One. Let me know your thoughts on these things, guys. Disagree, agree, say Jimmy. You don't know what you're talking about, homie. Okay, see my good writing. I was impressed. I was really impressed. I'm really happy right now, guys. Some of you guys have been thinking, dude, death of gaming. Is it a perfect situation? No, it's not. Unfortunately, it's not. But are there games to look forward to? Absolutely. As gamers continue to talk with their wallet, so will go the gaming industry. If we say, no, these games suck, the industry is going to continue to have to crumble and rebuild. And I'm really looking forward to the end of this year and 2014, guys. Let me know your thoughts, guys, on this. I want to ask you this question. There's a lot of things to talk about. You can leave in the section below. You can leave a video response if you want. Please do. What are your thoughts on the PlayStation 4 and Xbox One? And what I mean by this, specifically what I'm asking you, my question is, should you wait? Is buying the console this year relevant? And what I mean by that is, a lot of games that they showed aren't going to be available till 2014. What's going to happen in 2014? Well, there is a decent chance that the Xbox One and the PlayStation 4 will have a price drop. So is it worth it to pay full price for these consoles when all those games that were showed that look great, a lot of those games aren't even going to be out yet? Is it worth it to pay full price when you don't have all the games or all the things that you want? Should you wait? Some of you guys doing, are saying, some of you guys are saying, dude, I'm not waiting at all. I'm just not getting one, period. I'm good with my PS3. I'm good with my 360. I built a custom PC, so I don't have to worry about any of this paying for multiplayer nonsense. Please leave a comment in the section below. Please forgive me, guys. I'm really sick and I'm tired, but I am excited, and I think just there's a lot to talk about this. Tomorrow's Nintendo's conference, and I'm really looking forward to that. I apologize. Tomorrow, Nintendo is going to show some stuff. They're not going to have a traditional conference, but I am interested to see what they're going to have. I think they might be having some Super Smash Brothers info, and it should be good. But anyway, Sony, Microsoft, you guys did great. Again, it wasn't perfect, but I thought you guys did great. It's interesting. Xbox One, $500. PS4, $400. That's a big deal. PS4, $400. I should have ended this video a few minutes ago, but I just want to keep talking about this. Actually, I'm sorry. I'm going to have to keep talking about this, guys. I know this is really weird. You're probably clicking on the X button right now, but I have to show you guys something real quick. When the the PlayStation 3, when it first launched, it was at $600, and there were diehard PlayStation fans that swooped up and bought it. But a lot of people were like, "Whoa, dude, $600 is way too much." And when that console dropped, it dropped to $500, it dropped to $400. When it dropped, you had the Slim, the PS3 Slim. When it dropped to $299, that's when the sales started to go crazy. And I think the $400 for the PlayStation 4, I think the sales might be kind of insane. I think it'll be something. Another thing that they pointed out for the PlayStation 3 is that out of all the consoles, alright, I don't even know if they said devices, but at least of all the consoles, the PlayStation 3 is the #1 console for streaming Netflix, which is a big deal because it originally was on the 360. But anyway, just some interesting stuff. There's a lot of interesting things they talked about, and guys, I'm just really happy to talk about these things with you today. Please forgive my ramblings and my cold, but today was a good day for gamers, in my opinion. Agree, disagree in the comment section below, and thanks for watching, guys. I'll talk to you later.